Hey chat, checking out some standard. This is Temur Werewolves. So red-green in the main deck with a blue splash off of not only the 8 pathways and a Soaring City, but Sentinel and then treasure tokens from Outlaw help with that as well. This deck list has a lot of like 1s and 2s, especially in the sideboard, so I don't know that we're anywhere close to optimized, but it's playing a lot of just like pretty generically good aggressive cards. So let's go ahead and pop on into some match with this and see how it goes. Yeah, the Wandering Emperor with the eyes under the hat is a nice touch. I think this is a land. It's close though. Yeah, we tried to play some standard yesterday and kept queuing into decks that just had no respect for aggro, so I wanted to start today giving people some beatdown. Seems like that's a good choice to begin here. Bring in some counter spells here for the control deck. Morning, Jub. I think I do this because it makes me most likely to be able to draw a card next turn with Tovolar. If I played this, I can't hold green up to protect. I think I just let this one happen. Okay. play out one more. Or probably a burn down the house deck, so... Open a combo kill here. They just passed without using a braid. So deal. Well, this could be a body of research, an invoke body of research turn. Why waste my time? Why cast the Prismari command first? What else could I possibly have been doing? What are we playing around? Right on time, Sentinel. Excuse me, welcome to the party. Oh, you know what? I probably should have played Outland Liberator this turn, because I actually don't have another green, so I can't double spell. JK, LOL, easy game. An instant that gives you hexproof for this format. I'm pretty sure it costs 2, right? There's like a Lazotep plating. No, that's not. That's historic. My hopes fading away. My creatures returning to my hand. I can't attack you. Do 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 do. Well, to be fair, Cartman singing that song is excellent. Any creature. That'll do, pig. Have a deal 2 here? Because they had a deal 3, they would have killed the partners, right? Wait for the Mark Band. Yep. Ah, yet another reason that every streamer should stop using Streamlabs. They're such trash. That's like exceptionally crappy, Wargy. Streamlabs is different than Stream Elements. I moved all my stuff to Stream Elements a little bit ago. You were charged 23 times. Holy crap. Streamlabs, for people that needed more reasons to ditch Streamlabs, if you're someone that makes content on Twitch on occasion, Streamlabs apparently, they're the ones that, not even apparently, they're the ones that forked OBS and then added a bunch of paid stuff on top of it without differentiating the name. And a lot of people are under the impression that Streamlabs OBS and OBS were the same project, and they're very much not. Streamlabs OBS is a commercial bastardization of OBS that very much goes against the spirit of open source, even if legally they're still within the rights of the license agreement that it's released under. Honestly, that Streamlabs thing is super crappy, but it's kind of a good note in general that you should be keeping track of what you're being charged, chat. No joke. My wife and I get a text or email alert every single time $1 or more is charged to any of our credit cards or PayPal accounts. It's shitty that Streamlabs did that, but at the same time, if you're someone that's properly keeping track of your financial stuff, something like that should not surprise you. And you should take that low-cost invasion of your dollary dues and readjust your spending paying attention. Would I rather this die or this die? I think I'd rather this die. This being more resource efficient has appeal, though. Chaos Sealed on Arena. What's that, Pierogi? I don't keep up too well with their specialty formats. The dollar amount would have tipped me off, Wargy. Prime subs are great.
I will show you what happens when the spiders squash back.
So I'm actually not going to block this because I don't want their Lulth to have an extra counter because I want Volatile Arsonist to be able to kill her.
Do what I demand.
Wow, brutal. Well, that's rough. It's a huge tempo swing.
I will get.
And these tokens sacrifice. They'll put counters on Lulth here too.
My words are for ambitious minds.
That's true. No connoisseurs in this format. Nah, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki is a very different card than what it's that card is named after. I mean, it's a pretty low bar to have games of Magic be better than yesterday. I'm confident we can clear it. Hey, thanks for the Prime, Joe. Sometimes Twitch is weird and you gotta refresh your page after you resub to send the notification through.
A gift I will cull the weak.
I know they can keep using this one in the short term, but this other one's eventually gonna flip over anyways, and I don't want them to be able to rummage this turn. I think we just go ahead and take care of that. Feels like we're pretty out of this game at this point, though. Voltage Surge to kill my Arsonist. That's pretty incredibly behind.
We will slay our enemies.
Well, we're currently playing Constructed Wargy. This is standard. Some folks were talking about the limited format thing they were doing. We are not playing that. I don't really play limited. Cinderclass is probably pretty good here. Flame Blessed Bolt seems fine. Outland Liberator doesn't really have things that it tags. We want Arlen and Avabruck for grinding a little longer. We trim the Sentinels to increase our average card quality. I think they have Anvil into the Anvil deck. Oh, I guess this kills Reflection of the Kiki-Jiki too. I mean, what does Mind Flayer do, Drunk Owl? So ask yourself that question. And then ask yourself, where is that type of effect good? So, we could knock this out before it gets to make any treasures, but I think I'd much rather just smash here. And the Stormseeker Halana curve is really good. Yep, there goes an anvil, as predicted. That's a good shout out. Them starting their turn by spinning their tires is very good for us. Florida Drunk Owl. So next turn's gonna be pretty good. We'll get to like Werewolf Pack Leader, Flame Blessed Bolt, crack them, draw some cards. And they can't take any of my creatures off the board this turn. This game is basically over. I mean, statements like that one aren't really helpful or useful, Synthetic. Like, the idea that you know how my opponent sideboarded is just, like, not true, right? So rather than criticize my opponent for decisions that you have no idea how they made, let's just maybe remember that shutting up is free. That's actually a great draw, so we get to go ahead and Flame Bless Bolt. And then we get to Thundering Rebuke this here before blocks. And then we get to Werewolf Pack Leader, attack them. Being on the play seems pretty good. Strong. Maybe I'm supposed to have Snakeskin Veil in this matchup. I don't know. I don't have anything I want to cut. For the 2 years, Todd Turkey. Welcome back. Two-time Hooglandia Open winner. That title is safely only yours until the fall. When we return. It is incredible to me, and by incredible I mean depressing as hell, that it's the view sideboard option has been in the client for how long now, and it still doesn't show you your current sideboard during a post-board game. It's like, come on. I'm pretty sure there's no blue cards in my deck. So I'm gonna play the Riverglide Pathway on the not blue side. This is dead, I assume. Oh, that's sure. I can check untapped. Yeah, there's no blue cards in my deck. God bless. It's fine, opponent. I didn't want to cast any of those spells anyways. Joke's on you.
With terror. Exquisite. I always reward the loyal.
Alright, well this just kills Lull through it.
Your blood? Oh, you'll fall into my web again.
Nice duress. Feels good for that one to brick off on him.
Consider yourself fortunate our motives align. Nothing on innocent is free.
Climbing on up the ladder. Plat reset date, chat. Every time someone brings up the Twitch desktop app, I'm flabbergasted that that's something people actually use. What does the Twitch desktop app do that Google Chrome does not? Can someone help me understand? It's gotta do something I'm missing that people actually use it, right? It scrapes data off your computer. You used to be able to get free games from it. I got it. Okay, that makes sense. That's a reason. That would be a real... I clicked the wrong creature and missed drawing a card, so I was talking to chat. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. Imagine if we had dealt 2 more damage and drawn a card, chat. You have a question about the deck list that I'm currently playing? You can answer your question by looking at the deck list on your screen via the overlay or by typing !deck in chat. Howdy, Crocious. Well, I guess this has a target, but we're gonna really need this Ranger's class to pop off to have a shot here. And I'd wager that that is not something that's super likely to happen. We'll see. Being down a card through this whole exchange. That misclick on turn 3 is a big deal. Okay. Hey, this is what we said we needed. Oh, you know what? I should have attacked with this one, because this is going to get eaten by a 4/4. And I just wanted to draw a card, so it would be better to have a 2/3 left over. Good golly. Alright, it turns out popping off with Ranger's class probably isn't an option either. Pig. None of it mattered. The upside, none of our mistakes mattered and none of our choices did either. This is standard, so this card still can't be countered, so Disdainful Stroke's not really worth bringing in. We'll board out Rebuke. We'll board in Spell Pierce. I don't think this is a stroke matchup because we can't stroke their big play. It's been 29 months, Scruff McGruffin. Welcome back. Stroke still hits Sweepers and Angels. I mean, they're not always going to be casting a bunch of Angels like they did there. This is our most aggressive start. Yeah, ideally the Angels aren't going to be super relevant. Untapped lands? We'd hit untapped land there, we'd have had lethal almost, right? Could have been able to volatile, clear their blocker, hit them for a bunch. I don't think I want to Arsonist here. I guess they can't Doomscar me next turn, huh? Yeah, you know what? YOLO. Your move, Yugi boy. Set a low bar better than yesterday, Brad. We had Spell Pierce to beat Settle the Wreckage, chat. Hand's not aggressive as our one in the last game, but I think it's definitely in the range of keepable. Fix Lair of the Hydra so it doesn't give me priority when I can't legally activate it. Please and thank you, Magic Arena. They have a bunch of, like, destroy target attacking creatures. I'm gonna start by attacking with this. No, at no point has that ever been fixed, John. I have responses, thinking. Okay, go ahead. No, hold on, I'm thinking. I could have responses. Continue. Untap, upkeep. Any responses during my upkeep? Okay, draw a card for the turn. the only way to not leak information. Yeah, it is. It's correct. Nail hath been hit on the head. Jeff, stop. You're giving me flashbacks to that player at my LGS. Yep. Okay. Just go Magda plus partners here. Knock you to 6. You got 2 Lair of the Hydras hanging out. Thank you for the tier 3 and for the 33 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Okay, so we go land, Outland Liberator, and then we can fire up Lair of the Hydra for X's 4, and then they're dead. Because this puts counters here. And they go block 4, take 6. Still had all these. And this is why, like, so someone asked about Disdainful Stroke during sideboarding. And this is why a lot of the time, you'd much rather just be killing them. Like, holding up mana to try and counterspell with Disdainful Stroke is frequently going to be tough. I think some counterspells are going to have use on occasion, which is why I did bring in the negates. But I think realistically, we probably don't ever want to draw 2 counterspells in a matchup like that. I think Snakeskin Veil is better at being aggressive because it allows your creatures to get bigger, and Snakeskin Veil gives you a chance to save your creatures against Meathook Massacre on occasion. I think the Meathook Massacre decks are scarier for the creature decks than the blue-white control decks that have Destroy Wraths in them. By the way, chat, for people that don't keep up with politics in the U.S., this is your political update for the good things are possible to happen in Congress. The U.S. House passed capping insulin at $35 per month, with every Democrat voting for it, and all but 12 Republicans voting against it. So we'll see if that gets killed in the Senate or not, or if there are 10 Republicans who wish to, actually give a shit and help people. They had 12 vote for it in the House. And for reference, when I say only 12 voted for it, that means almost 200 voted against it. As is always the case, chat, stop electing Republicans. They don't give a shit about you. No, I think this is a bill that Manchin and Simeo will likely be behind. The problem is, Seller, if they don't get rid of the filibuster, they also need 10 Republican senators to vote for it as well. No, and that's the other thing too, right? Like, there's a lot of the time where bills have extra stuff shoved into them, so it's easy to be like, well, I didn't vote for this bill because it's got this extra stuff in it. This bill was literally just a rider to an existing bill to cap the cost of insulin. I think we're just like pack leader, give it haste, throw away one of our 3/3 so their blocker, draw 2 cards here. Insulin's not expensive because of inflation. Insulin is expensive in the United States because of greed and a lack of caring about other people. Yeah, I'm on my Twitter. Kunz just put it in chat. It's Bill HR 6833. You can read the actual text. I skimmed it this morning. There's not that much to it because it's a very simple, straightforward bill. What HR 6833 capping the cost of it? That's what most bills should look like. There shouldn't be lots of extra riders and things on stuff. It should just be, okay, this is what this is accomplishing. All right, so we're just like partners, start pumping up the jam. I think this is a land this game. I'm not quite ready to attack yet. Even if they have a Blizzard Brawl here as their last card, we still have and I think we're actually just making this Werewolf pack leader Xbox huge, right? Jack Rippers, thanks for the 25 months. Welcome back. We're gonna give +2 attack to the partners here off of our Stormseekers, and then we'll give +4/+4 to something this turn, I think is my plan. Probably the Werewolf pack leader, honestly. I think we just like get this thing huge and put them under the abyss with it. It'll be 10-10 this turn, and then 14-14 next turn. And then we can crunch in, and it'll force a big block. Why doesn't Werewolf pack leader let us draw a card for every 6 we attack with? Asking the real questions. So the partners power up based on their power. So once we crank this to 4, this goes to 10. They're dangerously close to flipping this over, huh? If I attack in and they trade off the trolls, they can actually flip the Ulvenwald oddity. It's a little scary. Am I into that? I might be into that. If I attack with everything, I could potentially die on the backswing, so I probably don't want to do that. I think we're Arsonisting this turn. Oh, I forgot I could activate the pack leader. I think I'd rather just do this. I think I'm going to do this and attack with these two. It's a step in the right direction still, Curseblade. And the people that don't pay the copay have far more negotiating power than the people that do pay the copay. Which is something that's super relevant. One of my favorite mantras in politics is don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And you're right that that bill isn't perfect, but it definitely will do a lot of good. I'm supposed to attack with the partners here too. Since I have the second one in my hand. It's very possible. Oh, yeah, I forgot she has first strike. Yeah, I definitely should have attacked with the partners, too. Forgot that they first strike. So that was definitely the play. I may mess this up. There's a chance that if I attack with these as well, they, like, double block her and only chump block my 14-14 as well. All right, they've decided it doesn't matter, and we're still going to win the game, which I think is accurate. I think I made inoptimal decisions that turn, but I also kind of agree with my opponent that it really doesn't matter. And you explain what being an LLC means. It means I am a corporation. The TLDR means that if you make over a certain amount of money in a year as an independent contractor, it's typically beneficial to incorporate as an LLC for tax benefits. Because if you're paid money as an independent contractor and you're not being paid to a company, you pay the employer and employee back into the taxes, and there's other miscellaneous bullshit in the US tax system that you can't take advantage of, not being a corporation. This is not tax advice, and if you have questions about how to work out your taxes, you should consult a tax professional or a lawyer. LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation, by the way. I don't know how I want to sideboard here. Most of these cards don't seem good. This is probably the Mind Flayer matchup, actually. We got a lot of chunky creatures we wouldn't mind taking. Quandrix Command could be okay here, too. It's like a combat trick plus a tempo, send something back to their hand. I don't really know what I want to cut, though. This could be an angle where we just, like, trim, like, maybe Magda's, because they're going to have a hard time attacking in profitably. And maybe that's the change. Although it's a little scary to trim her when I'm boarding in a blue card for sure. There's a very good chance that this Mind Flayer is just too cute and it's too difficult to cast. Well, we don't get screwed on our taxes any more than usual because, like, we know what I'm going to be expected to pay, but the end result is being an LLC is that I'll pay less taxes overall because corporation. In an ideal world, I wouldn't have to do that, but that's what it is. Do they not have a third land? It's good for us. Well, not adjusting your withholding is different than having to get them being a 1099 employee. So a 1099 contractor, you're not technically an employee. Filing taxes 4x a year is a pain. It's not too bad. Just like set it up to auto bill. Just like does its thing and we don't think about it. Can't, if the government just sent us a bill in the mail that we could contest if we wished, how would we use them to screw poor people? Come on now, you need to think about this logically. I think we've lost this game, speaking of looking at things logically. Green Doomblades are pretty good. Pretty good. That's how property taxes work here. They tell me my house is worth more than it is. They send me a bill I could just... Yeah, that's one thing I'm not looking forward to, Oratog. With what all the houses have been selling for in my area, I'd wager my taxes are going to go up next assessment. The house up the street from ours sold for like $100,000 over what Christy and I paid for ours. Which is not great. All right, chat, we got Mind Flayer and Blue Lands, I believe. Well, if you're doing your taxes properly, you're not getting overtaxed for what it's worth. If you're getting overtaxed, you typically have your withholding or whatever set up incorrectly. Not always the case, but is usually the case. Hopefully they cast a Chariot this turn and we get to Quandrix Command it. This counters artifact and enchantment spells. Well, smash the 2/2 because they missed a land drop. I can see that being correct. I could be right smashing the 2/2 and the 1/1 here instead of the Flayer too. That would give me a chance to play Flayer with Snakeskin Veil up, because I guess if they have a removal spell, they just get their thing back, right? Yeah. Yeah, this was wrong. We done messed up, chat. We done messed up. Are we old, chat? Yeah, magic audiences tend to skew older compared to a lot of other gaming. And in large part, I think that's because Magic's a pretty expensive hobby overall. We're dead here. My sequencing was really poor. I should have definitely smashing these two instead of playing the Flayer the turn that I did. That's fine. That was our freebie at the Plat 3 rank floor. The alchemy patch is all buffs, which makes me think we'll probably have about half a week of people trying the new cards before they give up and start playing more red-black. But we'll see. Maybe that's a little jaded. We'll definitely be. We're gonna focus on standard with a scotch of historic between now and the balance patch next Thursday. Blocks. Wow, that just worked. Okay, sure. Deal-a-reno. So even if they make a land drop next turn, they can only meet Hook for 3. So Tovolar will get to survive, which is nice. The dead Jim. You're gonna murder him. And he's out of here. All right, then the Trap Breaker gets to go ahead and get rid of their toy here. Let's go ahead and protect this here. This means my things will transform back, but I think that's fine. The 3/3 is still out of range of Meat Hook. It's a shame we haven't drawn any creature lands yet this game. Feels like there's a good chance we're going to be just short of being able to push through lethal. It's honestly impressive that you can have people that are stupid enough to both sides me on a post about 193 Republicans voting against capping the price of insulin and 0 Democrats doing the same. But progressives are really that stupid, chat. So they will, in fact, both sides you on a post like that. Is actually the most idiotic, self-defeating political group, which is impressive compared to MAGAs. Opponent is disconnected, unfortunately. Sag. Hey, Rad Tomato, thanks for the 27 months. Welcome back. My new take on progressives? I mean, my politics and things that I would like to see happen in the United States align with progressives. Where I don't align with a lot of progressives is the ones that let perfect get in the way of good. Which is what people both sidesing on a post like that are doing. It's one of the reasons why, AOC is a politician I have a lot of respect for, because she does a good job of putting her values as a progressive politician first, while also understanding reality and actually getting stuff done. Understanding what leverage she has with the amount of power that their caucus currently has and getting what they can get out of it. These are, describing these as incredibly unsettling is such an accurate way to describe it. It's, they feel strange, chat. Something's not right. So it's one of those things where, like, if this is how it always was, maybe it would be okay, but it's so different than the norm, you're just like, what's going on here? Somebody please help. Feels good to have their second duress brick. Even Irwin with a good take. The thing with the left aligned cards is they hit this weird uncanny valley with magic cards. That's a good way to describe it. It's an uncanny valley type thing. Those are real. They're actually selling those as a secret lair, chat. Our opponent's play has really ruined our day here, Chip. They are down to 2 cards though, so if we draw some lands here, we might have a shot. I opened the link and now I feel queasy. Well. To the people in chat that are arguing over the semantics of labeling people that you apparently dislike, please stop or take it to a DM. Just stop being pedantic Magic players for 30 seconds. I appreciate it. Alright, so this attack leaves me dead to a removal spell, but it also means that I can kill them next turn, most likely. They chose not to discard anything, so I assume we're about to lose the game. I think I'm supposed to attack there. We just stumbled for like half a turn too long in this game, unfortunately. Happy with my decision there, even if it didn't play out the way I'd like it to. We're gonna cut the Sentinels because they're kind of a individually weak card. Gonna bring in some individually powerful cards, like a Flame Blessed Bolt, I guess. Yeah, describing Obama as right of center on a global scale is probably accurate. The same is true of Joe Biden, but that also makes them decidedly liberal by definition, not conservative. Just like being strictly left of center doesn't make you a progressive. And again, at the end of the day, it's all semantics, so let's just stop and move on from this conversation. I'm going to time out anybody else that tries to argue about it. Yeah, that's also true, too. When people say globally, they mean Europe. That's also accurate. Hopefully they just have a shock here. Yeah, it definitely feels like they have a shock. They also have a power word kill, apparently. Get to crack him for 3 here. I don't think they'll trade Florian for the partners, so I think I'm gonna attack with the partners. And I think, honestly, even if they do trade Florian for the partners, that's probably good for us, right? Because I won't have the option to block on the backswing. If they get to start triggering this, I won't, Okay, so we rebuke you. And then we get to Liberator. Attack for 8. Match feels solidly in our favor. I mean, this game is going in our favor. I think saying the match is in our favor is probably a little bit of a stretch. They have a lot of pretty good interaction. I would be shocked if they have the technology to put the left aligned cards on Magic Arena. There are definitely technological limitations with that. I'm attacking with my 2-1 into their 1-1 because if they want to trade their 2-1 for my 1-1, they can't double block my Stormseeker. So I'm basically giving them the choice of what they're getting rid of here. That's pretty good. Really, they're taking Valky hoping to spike the land? It's greedy. I think I would have just taken the 4-4. Lucky. So we're hoping to draw the Menace creature, I guess. Or Menace Haste 5-drop. I think I'm supposed to pass here, huh? If I play this out, my Lair's only a 5-5, and I'd trade for both of these. And just pass, I think. Alright, we are super duper dead. Yikes. Yikes. White splash in the opponent's vampire deck doing some good work there. For Mr. Markov and Angel Fire. Man, Duress Game 1 being live against our aggro deck is so incredibly tilting. We just have, like, exactly one target for it in our hand every single game, and it feels miserable. Just like, this card's just been better Thoughtseize against us every time it's been cast, basically. Alright, I think I'm over this deck, actually. I'm just not really enjoying it. Getting duressed in our deck that's also just not particularly aggressive enough to close out. Just hasn't been particularly fun. Alright, I've got a few different deck lists from a recent standard tournament, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put up a poll to let people vote on those.